Pep Guardiola's tactical brilliance has been the driving force behind Manchester City's evolution. Under his guidance, City have constantly adapted, with Guardiola's innovative tactics responsible for their improved performances. Guardiola's commitment to refining his squad style has made City not only more unpredictable but also more dominant. Here's how you can recreate City's new tactics in FC24. This season we have seen Pep Guardiola elevate and evolve his Manchester City side into using a new formation. A 3-1-2-1-3 formation, creating that midfield diamond, allowing for complete and utter dominance when in possession of the ball. Quite often you will see the side build up in a 3-2 or a 3-1 structure, building the ball from the back to the front and looking to progress and overload the opposition higher up the field. This formation will also create a lot of swift transition attacking moments for your forwards to get on the end of and create attacking opportunities. So yes, the formation has changed and you can sense there is an evolution to this Manchester City side under Pep Guardiola, but there will be a lot of key similarities in terms of the tactical setup for the side. None other than the tactical vision being set to wing play. Of course, Pep Guardiola does like his wingers hugging the touchlines, looking to try and draw the opposition out into those wider zones and generate a lot of central space for the likes of an Erling Haaland, a Kevin De Bruyne of the past, or even a Bernardo Silva looking to try and work in between the lines and generate a lot of attacking fluidity. Now, with this new system comes new individual player roles, and in terms of the wing play approach, we have seen Kevin De Bruyne drifting quite a lot out into that wider left zone, looking to try and combine very efficiently and effectively in those wider areas with the left winger. This not only allows for overloads to occur in those wider left channels, but also it allows Kevin De Bruyne to have a bit more time and space on the ball and be allowed to successfully facilitate the offense from that wider space. In terms of the defensive approach, you will see that the defensive style will be set to press after possession loss. We know that Pep Guardiola does want his side pressing very aggressively when out of possession of the ball, making it very difficult for the opposition to really establish an offensive rhythm and try and build their attacks from those backline areas. The team's width should be set to 65, and this will aid with that aggressive counter-pressing system, looking to try and get a lot of players involved in between those passing angles and lanes, looking to try and break up the play between the defense and the midfield, and of course the midfield and the attack. Whereas the depth of this Manchester City side should be set to 85, of course implementing a very high line, aiding with that counter-press, looking to compress the space between the lines, making it very difficult for potentially the opposition to play passes into their striker and have the striker have a bit more time and space on the ball to make his next decision. Not only with this high line will you see a greater counter-pressing system, but you will also see the two wider centre-backs join in with the wider attacks. The offensive tactics implemented by Pep Guardiola with this new evolved Manchester City side and formation, nothing will really change too much. You'll still see a slow build-up for the build-up play, as well as the chance creation being set to possession. They'll still look to successfully build their attacks from the back using the goalkeeper and then playing it further forward into the centre-backs, having them establish that offensive platform for the midfield to build up off of, and obviously trying to generate chances and opportunities for their star striker in Erling Haaland up front. The width of the side will be set to 75 yards, trying to draw the opposition into those wider zones, whether it's KDB and the likes of Doku or Grealish combining in those wider left channels, or potentially Savio, Bernardo Silva, or even Rico Lewis combining in the wider right channels. You will see a lot of play in those wider zones, a lot of rotational play occur quite a lot, and this in effect will draw the opposition out wide, opening up a lot more central space for the likes of Erling Haaland and some of your midfielders to work into an attack. The players in the box will be set to 6, allowing for at least 3 players to be in and around those attacking zones, and mainly what we have seen is it's one of the wingers along with the likes of Erling Haaland and then one of the central midfielders making their runs further on into the box. Finally, the corners as well as the free kicks, as per always, they should be set to 4. Onto the individual player roles, we'll start off at the front with the striker in Erling Haaland, and he'll be set to maintaining a balanced width. Quite often we have seen Haaland in those central zones looking to hold up the play and link it up very effectively with the players in and around him, but we've also seen him be able to drift out wide, looking to arc his runs into those slightly wider channels and looking to use his pace most effectively to get him behind, and that is why I have also set him to get him behind, looking to make sure that he is keeping the opposition on the back foot as much as possible, but in turn this will look to stretch the opposition on a vertical scale, opening up a lot more central space for the midfielders to get on the ball and try and generate that offensive approach. For the interceptions, it should be set to aggressive, as Haaland is very assertive when it comes to pressing the opposition centre-backs as well as the goalkeeper, and you might see him intercept the play and then quickly turn it into a transition attack. And then finally, the defensive support should be set to stay forward, as this side will look to defend in a 4-1-4-1 system, having the likes of Lewis drop back into that right back role, or potentially the likes of Savio doing so himself, and you will see Haaland maintain that figure points up front, looking to try and lead that quick backline pressing structure. For the number 10 position, and Bernardo Silva has largely been deployed in that role himself, he'll be set to come back on defense, as you will see this midfield four all drop back, all looking to defend as a cohesive unit and trying to prevent the opposition from really having a lot of time and space in those central zones. The support on crosses will see the likes of Bernardo Silva on the edge of the area looking to help rotate the play or facilitate an offensive move, or potentially get into the box and be on the end of one of those crosses or cutback opportunities himself. The positioning freedom should be set to free roam, as he does look to aid in all areas of the play, looking to build up from those wide areas or potentially be central and very involved in the attacking play. You will see him though linking the play with the wider players quite a lot, looking to get on the ball in those central zones and then firing a ball out wide to either the right or the left winger. Finally, the interception should be set to aggressive, as like I mentioned earlier, the midfield four will look to aggressively close down the space that the opposition might have in those central areas. The left central midfielder will be Kevin De Bruyne, and he will have a slightly different role under Pep Guardiola in the system. He'll be a bit more of a box-to-box, all-action, all-phase midfielder. So for the attacking support, you want him to maintain a nice balanced role, as well as the support on crosses, you want him to stay on the edge of the box, as we all know that he does his best work looking to try and facilitate the offense on the edge of the area. The interceptions will be set to normal, and then finally cover the wing and drift wide, and this is a key aspect to trying to get Kevin De Bruyne out into those wide areas and combine very effectively with the left winger. You will see Kevin De Bruyne and Doku overwhelm and overload the opposition down that left-hand channel. The defensive midfielder in Kovacic will be set to cut pass lanes for his defensive behavior, as you do want him breaking up the play just in front of that back three and trying to shield them as best as possible. The attacking support will be set to maintaining that stay back while attacking approach, as he will be the deepest lying midfielder, and you will see a 3-1 structure formulate. And then finally, you want him to be able to cover the central zones, as well as being the deep lying playmaker, often looking to collect the ball from either the goalkeeper or the centre backs, and then successfully build the attacks from the midfield zones. Now, the role of Rico Lewis on the right-hand side of the diamond has got a lot of people talking. What is his natural position? Is it a right back? Is it a number 8? Is it a 6? Is it a number 10? And to be honest with you, on the right-hand side of this midfield diamond, he is everything. He's a right back, he's a number 10, he's a number 8, he's a number 6. He helps in the build-up play, he helps facilitate the rotations on the edge of the box, he helps defend in that wider right space. For the attacking support, you want him to be able to have a balanced attack, allowing him to be an all-action, all-phases midfielder, looking to defend, looking to attack, looking to rotate the play in the central areas of the park. The support on crosses should be set to maintaining a balanced role, as you do tend to see him breaking into the box every now and then, looking to add those extra runs into those deeper spaces and creating cutback opportunities for the other central players, or you might see him on the edge of the area looking to try and rotate the play and facilitate an offensive movement. And then finally, the positioning freedom should be set to cover the wing, and this will have him dropping into that right back role himself, looking to defend that space, but of course he will be aided by the likes of Akanji as well as Savio defending that right hand side. And then when you are in possession of the ball, his positioning freedom should be set to free roam, as you do tend to see him create alternative run patterns on a consistent basis, looking to combine effectively down the right hand side with Savio, or potentially drifting inside and combining with the likes of a Kevin De Bruyne, a potential Bernardo Silva. And you will also see Bernardo Silva as well as Lewis frequently interchange roles and positions. Now, the role of your two wingers in Savio and Doku, or it could be Grealish, they'll be set to come back on defense, as Guardiola does demand that his two wide players drop back at times and help defend in those wider spaces. You will see them picking up the back post runners, looking to defend that back post very aggressively at times, but most importantly, the ability for them to hug the touchlines. Now, Doku does have a slightly differing role compared to Savio, but down this right-hand side, Savio does tend to hug the touchline a fair amount, but also provide that direct attacking purpose to the team, looking to make those aggressive and assertive runs in behind, having the midfield really dominate possession and then fire the ball out to those wider zones. The interception should be set to aggressive, as you will see this front line or even this front four at times aggressively closing down the space between the opposition and their builder play from the back. Finally, the support on crosses should be set to maintaining a balanced run, as he can be a facilitator on the edge of the box looking to whip in crosses and cutback opportunities, or he could be the attacker in the box looking to get on the end of one of those opportunities himself. You'll see here for Doku, he'll be set to come back on defense, and the only change that I have made for the left-hand side has been the ability for him to maintain a balanced width. Now, I did trial this on the free roaming role himself, but this allowed him to attack more centrally at times, and it allowed Kevin De Bruyne to operate in those wider spaces. You want to have them alternating with who attacks the wider zone and who attacks the central areas. And this effectively allows that combination to occur on a consistent basis. So a balanced width for the left wing will definitely aid with the ability to have De Bruyne operating as a left winger, or potentially Doku operating in his more natural position. But otherwise, you will see he will be set to aggressive interceptions, as well as having that balanced crossing run. Now and then you might see him in the box, other times you might see him on the edge of the area looking to help facilitate an offensive cross or maybe a cutback opportunity. Into the backline, and the likes of Gvardiol as well as Akanji will be set to the same role and instructions, and that will be overlap. When you are looking to build your attack and you are rotating the play in those wider zones, you will see both of these players drifting higher up the field and looking to add to that attacking support in those wider areas, looking to help facilitate an extra passing option for the side to build up with, and you will see them operating slightly. back and Ruben Diaz will be set to conservative interceptions, as he will look to try and hold this back line together at times, looking to defend as best as possible. But you don't really want him being too aggressive and assertive, pressing high up the field and being exploited. So that is why conservative interceptions does the trick. And then finally, for the goalkeeper, he will be very important in building the attacks from the back, looking to play those passes either into the midfield or potentially into the centre backs, and then have them establish the play further on. So for the instructions for your goalkeeper, he should be set to come for crosses as well as playing as that sweeper keeper. With this very high line implemented, you do require Edison to be able to sweep up just in behind the backline areas. And there you go, my dudes. That is how I would go ahead and recreate Pep Guardiola's new and evolved Manchester City tactics, the 3-1-2-1-3 system, the diamond formation with a back three. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to smash that like button down below, as well as subscribe if you are new. And if you are interested and you have a Discord profile and you would like to join up with the Brom Squad Gaming Discord, the link will be down below in the description for you to go ahead and click on and join up. It is free. We chat everything FC25, everything FC24 for the time being, at least for the next week or so, as well as everything real life football. So if you are interested, please go ahead, join up, and I would welcome you to both subscribing as well as joining up with the Discord with open arms. There we go. I think I've actually nailed that for the first time ever. Have a smashing goddamn day, and I'm out of here. Peace.
I just wanna see.